I got no more lives.
Yes. So you're around episode 79, is that correct? Johnny B?
79 exactly.
Okay. So what has happened right now?
So I got to the end of that arc where they were on Little Garden.
Yeah.
Little Garden.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Elbas. They met the two warriors
giants on
from there.
on Little Garden.
In Little Garden, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to the part where they beat Mr. 3, and then they're sailing away, and then the two giants basically bust a hole through the giant koi fish to let them leave the island.
Iconic moments. Oof.
Yes.
Yeah. So they finished off their century-old weapons that they've been dueling with, constantly, and they broke them, and they blew a hole in this fucking fish. What, for some reason, I don't think killed the fish, which is weird, but blew a hole right through the fish. Like I'm assuming that I'm going to learn a little bit more about what the hell happened, but I don't really understand what the fuck happened. Like I saw it. I saw what happened. They swam into the fish.
They couldn't get. They had to get away from the fish. Around the fish, right? So the two giants hit whatever they hit. I believe it was like the water or some shit like that. What did they hit?
No, they just like.
I think they
shot
just
some
impact.
Fucking blast of wind and I guess like hockey at this point, and just freaking blew a hole right through the fucking fish.
I don't think it was hockey though, because when they were fighting with each other, they were fighting to
glowing.
The death. I don't know.
They were fucking glowing.
You got to imagine how many moments back in like old school One Piece that hockey was there. I didn't even think about it. That could have been hockey.
Very true.
It could have been because like the only other instance you get is like when like Sanji and Zoro are like beefing with each other, and they start letting off like what looks like heat waves. Like when you could see the heat rippling through the air, and you get that effect. They add that to like some of those tense moments when somebody would be exerting some kind of energy.
Yeah, so like that's the thing about the One Piece world. Just to spoil this for you, there's like a oneness with the elements. So people have like elemental powers, so to speak. Like there are people that are literally made of fire, and they exist basically, or they live with fire on them. Things like that. So I could say it was hockey, the thing that blasted them into so they could get around the codfish, but I'd have to rewatch that shit. I really don't know. I'd have to rewatch it, but I'm assuming that you like it.
There wasn't much.
So you passed that part. Where are you?
Yeah.
Like, what was the last thing you saw?
Nami got sick.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So you're about to get Chopper.
They got the pose, the eternal pose to go to Alabasta, and then that was it. Once they set sail, Nami got sick.
Listen to me
so
right
now. Everybody's freaking out.
Listen to me right now. From right here, that shit goes up, bro.
I've been enjoying what I've been watching to begin with.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But this story, the story of Chopper, that shit was crazy. Like the first time I seen that shit, I was like, damn, bro. This nigga Chopper, bro.
Yeah, Chopper little stories will come up. It gets you a little in the feel.
Yeah,
bro,
I'm
like, yo, I fuck with this nigga forever, bro. That's why it's kind of mad how they doing Chopper now, or how I feel they're doing Chopper right now. But that's a talk for another time. But
so I wanna bring one thing up before we leave the One Piece conversation. And it's something that maybe like Rene might want to chime into, or at least might be interested in. I realized what it was when we were talking about it last week, that I was saying that there was something different about watching the stories transition in One Piece. that it, and you know, like that idea that there really is no filler. At least at this point in the story, there's really no filler. There's two main things that I've noticed about Oda's storytelling that's very different from Toriyama, for example. So I've noticed that Oda's stories literally just pick up and then move and keep going, beat after beat after beat. This whole story just kind of flows. There really is no pause in between. There's not a whole lot of slice of life. Toriyama has a lot of instances where we get to see the Z Warriors just kind of living life, having families. You know, we get a little tiny taste of what, you know, it's been this many years of peace.
I want to just interject something right here. I always thought that shit was boring. When they would
the slice of life?
Yeah, for Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
In Dragon Ball Z, that shit was kind of boring, bro. I wasn't trying to see an episode, even though it was funny to watch the first time. I wasn't trying to see Goku and Vegeta fucking driving a car, like, or learning how to drive. I didn't give a fuck about that. Honestly,
Goku and
honestly. I said Gohan?
No, you said Vegeta.
Oh, sorry, Goku and Piccolo. Sorry, I wasn't really trying to see that. To me, personally, there are other instances, but that's one instance that I can remember because I always skip that shit, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Even though Piccolo was looking fly, his fit was fire. He had the fit. He had the fire fits.
With the long sleeves, yeah.
Woo! Yeah, so, I still
what's up?
Don't like that shit when it's told from him, or I would say period, bro. Even in Naruto, that shit was kind of meh. Like when you see them niggas chilling at Ichi Ramen Rock or whatever that shit is called, Ichiraka Ramen or whatever it's called, the ramen spot that they be always at. Seeing that shit, bro.
Huh? It's just like, they live normal lives too. It's not all this crazy shit.
Nah, bro, I'm not trying to see normalcy. I see normalcy on the regular day, bro. Give me stories. They be doing that shit in One Piece, though. There are parts where they break up the story and they'll give you like a couple episodes to calm you down. Because at the time, the manga, the TV show, I believe, was catching up to the manga. So they had to like throw a
pat
little
it out
filler.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So, but
as of right now, that's just one of the main things that I've noticed that separates the storytelling is like, you know, like Rene knows because he's revisited Dragon Ball so many times, you know, like when we get the transition, especially from the Cell arc to the Buu arc, it's like this many years has passed. Nothing has happened in this many years. And
unless you watch the movies that just happened to not be canon.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, Gohan is big now. He has a little brother. They just catch you up on everything that has happened since Goku died.
Boo.
You know, and
that kind of storytelling. Boo.
And I just, you know, I'm nostalgic for Dragon Ball as a whole, but I do see the difference in the storytelling. And One Piece will, at least what I've seen so far, it's demonstrated that it doesn't really take like time to give you like a break and skip ahead. Like there hasn't been, what I've heard is this time skip that's coming soon, but there's like a significant time skip.
Yeah,
you haven't spoiled it. You just keep saying you're gonna see the time skip, and
that's like 500 episodes from where you are, bro.
All right, that's soon. I'll be there like tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I'm just noticing that at least when Oda's telling the story, things just happen in sequence and build to the story, and the exposition makes sense for when it happens. Like you get information when it's important, and it's usually very significant information, and it's not a whole bunch of I just pulled this out of my ass to make it convenient for the story. It kind of like makes sense, or it's something that had been spoken about or alluded to and is now being fully explained or explored a little bit more, or the characters have an opportunity to be like, yo, do you remember when that happened? You know, like, I don't know. It just, it plays better narratively for me. So I've been really enjoying this style of storytelling because it's so different to Toriyama's style of telling a story, and how you don't even realize that you're in another arc until you're a few episodes in and you're like, oh no, this is the story. this is what they're working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because you know, like the goal is, like, for me, the goal is to get the princess back to Alabaster, but you know, like they're having these little mini arcs before getting to the main conflict in that country. Mm-hmm. But you don't really notice that it's happening. It's just like something happens, and then boom, now is a whole story that's coming out of that.
I'll tell you why, if you're wondering, or you want to just watch it.
What?
Like, I can tell you without telling you what's gonna happen next.
No, I don't need to know what's gonna happen next. I'm just talking about the way that the story is being, like, explained. Like, there are no small pit stops. Everything that I think is going to be a small little 1 episode or 2 episode thing, because Toriyama will do a 2 episode story plot and then kind of keep it moving for this. Like, doesn't happen. It becomes its own little break,
right?
Arc. And then it's like, okay, that was like a whole story that happened from start to finish.
It's nonstop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't stop. Like, the story just continues. Like, it doesn't skip a beat. It picks up right where it left off originally, and everything made sense. No matter how long it took you to get there, like the whole thing, you're just like, all right, now we're ready to keep going. Right. And it's been weird. I guess I'm not used to this style of storytelling just yet.
This nigga's waiting for a break. He's like, bro, so much has happened. Arlong Park, fucking Little Garden. What else happened? The Baratier, Mihawk. Nigga see so much shit. His head is exploding. He's like, I need a break. Nah, you about to go fight Crocodile.
But that's the greatness about One Piece, though, is that, like, it's like you said, there's no breaks in it, but because, you know, like Toriyama, he'll give you a little bit of slice of life to help you transition to the next arc. But One Piece automatically throws in slice of life into those random moments within the story. Yeah. So as it's going about, like, you're like, oh, like they're traveling they're traveling on the boat at the time. And then the rain might occur, and there'll be a stupid little story about how the weather affects, or you're learning about the world. And the great thing about One Piece is that even where you are in this moment, episode 79, 80, you could be on episode 500, and Oda is a beast because he'll strategically leave plot holes. You might be wondering small little things, and they'll address it 500 episodes later. Like, perfect example. You probably already seen Doflamingo, the dude with the shades. Like,
not in the show, but I've seen the character.
So, and there's a meeting. I think
another fire villain. Another fire villain.
So the swaggy villain. Like, it's dope because they show you him. But the funny part about I think you probably met him. And
no, you definitely met him already, because you meet him when you go to Oh no, he hasn't gotten there yet.
So you'll get to a part where they'll show you characters at like episode 100. And the announcer will say, hey, this is so-and-so, but he won't be important until later. And I kid you not, 500 episodes later, you get a whole arc on this one person. And he didn't look like he was nothing. But when you get to where he is and you see what he does and him and his ability, is just Oda's a boss. Like, just even finding out what he is made no sense whatsoever, and it just worked. But that's the greatness of One Piece. Even with the princess, they will pay off everything that is happening with the princess in about 700 to 800 episodes. It Jesus all connects. Christ. So, like, every little thing, even though you think it's insignificant, it all will come back.
It's crazy, bro. Just watching it is just crazy, because then, like, I'm rewatching it, and there are things that I didn't peep the first time around that I'm watching now, and I'm just like, damn, like this shit is hard. Or like, even like watching the next arc after this arc you're going through is going to be the Skypiea arc, which is probably my favorite arc of the whole shit. So it's like that shit, bro, going back, seeing shit, like, just, I'm not trying to ruin it for you, but just going back
I get you.
And seeing shit from a different aspect. It's like, damn, bro, how did I not peep that, bro? Like, what we were like I told you about hockey, right?
Yeah,
you were introduced about hockey like maybe episode 1, but you didn't know it was hockey. You had no idea what is hockey. You just thought he was staring him down, and then his like he was just that nigga to stare. He was a sea king, bro. That nigga ate his arm and still went back to his mama. That shit is crazy, bro. You know how strong you have to be for a sea king? And he don't even have a devil fruit. That's the man, come on, son. You about to bro.
And
Shaba.
That shit is crazy. But before we move on, real quick, I do want to like just add on something that Shawny said. He said they put the slice of life in the story as you're watching it.
Yeah, they do.
That's one of the that's one of the great things that Oda does. Like the ability that the way he uses his comedy in the story, because the story can be serious, but should be funny around the seriousness. The way he does that shit, it's not like anything I have ever read or watched, honestly. And this
it's been incredibly unique. Definitely a very unique experience. But real quick, Rene, because I know that you're not watching the anime right now, so a lot of it just sounds like gibberish to you.
Honestly, a lot of it sounds like food.
Like
y'all said hockey so many times. I'm just thinking it sounds like a sushi.
This is like a sushi. So what are your thoughts and opinions on when you get that slice of life and those filler style episodes in Dragon Ball storytelling?
Personally, I love it. However, I did see one filler one time, and it was dead ass just Gohan fishing. Like, oh man, it starts off in a waterfall. It's just like, ooh, this is gonna be nice. We got a nice setting.
Oh, the beginning.
Fish.
Yeah, that's in the beginning.
And he's just walking, and it's 20 minutes. It's just like
20 minutes, and he gets chased by a dinosaur,
and then nothing else.
And he's trying to figure it out because they were trying to establish Gohan living out in the woods like his father did,
which I totally get. Genesis out of nowhere was just like, let's watch Super. I don't know where she got the itch from, but we went through season 1, 2, 3. Right now we're going into Trunks coming back, and
Goku Black.
Goku Black.
Yeah, we're going into Goku Black, and there's like 4 or 5 fillers, and I tell her, I was like, listen, these are filler episodes. Do you want to skip them? It doesn't affect the plot. And she's like, nah. She's a writer, so she's like, you need to realize that filler is kind of insulting. Like, that term, it's in there for a reason. You are meant to watch it. You're meant to enjoy it. It's part of whatever the story it is that they're trying to tell you. Yo, when she said that shit to me, I was just like, all right, that makes sense. It's a different vibe. Like, we finished, remember when Vegeta, all his stuff got taken away by the purple people?
Oh, the Patafu, the Patafu arc. Yeah.
Yeah, so then she goes, oh shit, that was serious. And I was like, it meant nothing, it was filler. She goes, don't say that shit. Because obviously Vegeta learned some shit and he's gonna go against Goku. And it's just like, this is a different perspective. Someone who's never watched Dragon Ball is telling me this.
Yeah, but see, that's the issue though, because you have to tell her that what she's saying is true, but it's not true. It's not real. Like, that shit does not exist.
But it's not real.
It doesn't matter for the plot.
So
bro.
do you only care about the story elements that are canon or identical to what came out in the manga?
You talking to me?
No. To Macky.
Yeah. There's only one that I liked that I don't believe was what do you call it? Canon was the Foxy arc. I don't know if Shawny can. It's
in One Piece.
One Piece, yeah. It's the Foxy arc. When he fights Foxy in that Foxy tournament, I think that was filler. But it was a really good filler arc.
Yeah, I think it was. It was when they were traveling and they got caught. Something happened. They had to go to a little side island on the way, right?
Yeah.
See, the funny part about One Piece is that sometimes you can't tell that it's not filler until like later when it's more adamant. But believe it or not, I don't even think that was filler.
I don't think it was filler though.
I don't think it was.
Yeah,
and that's
my
the thing
brother
about
told
One
me
Piece.
There's no such thing as filler. He told me about that shit.
There is filler because there are parts of the anime. There are fillers because there are parts where Luffy's a boss and they'll just go into another world. So there are fillers, but there's like I said, there's only 10% of the whole anime
Yeah.
filler. So
because if it's 995 episodes, there was only 90 fillers. There's one filler that I especially love, and I think it was just random. They were on. I don't remember when it happened. I'm not sure if it was after Skypiea, but it was an arc where they were on their way and they ended up in a Navy base. And I'm avoiding spoilers purposely, but
I know they had just left Skypiea and they entered a Navy a Marine base, and they had to get that arc was fire. And that
and
filler,
believe
right?
it or not,
that's filler.
It's filler. That was actually
that shit
so
was
good
fire,
of an arc. You didn't know it was filler, and even like you don't, because they use certain Marines that don't really come back in the story. But in I forgot which movie it was. I forgot which movie it was that I saw One Piece. They did reference them back in the movie, so yeah, technically it is filler. But even within the fillers, that's one thing I do like about One Piece and their fillers. They still correlate the story because it's a lot. Like I'm pretty sure, you've seen the Marines already. You know about Marines and such. But there's so much within the Marines that's going on. Because that's the good thing. One Piece, you can't. There's no protagonist or antagonist. It's just people doing what they feel is
right. Yeah,
they're right.
I've noticed that it's very ambiguous. The entire concept of good and evil in the story is ambiguous.
Exactly.
I think that right there just. Never mind. Let me not say what I'm going to say because I'm going to sound like a hater.
No, it's okay. Well, I only have one major discussion point for today because